Hey everyone, Morgan here. So I wanted to make this video because I get a lot of people that are just so genuinely confused about why we've moved so much over the past few years. And people, when I think of people, I think people are very comfortable. They get in their comfort zone and they just want to be there forever. Even just 50 years ago, people, they weren't traveling full-time in an RV unless you were retired, right? They weren't, moving around with kids because, well, they're tied down with kids, you know what I mean? And they weren't having adventures with kids because, again, of their kids or whatever. They weren't, moving around so much because, one, they thought they couldn't, or two, they just thought, I'll just do that when I'm retired, or I'll do that when I'm older, or what's the point, or whatever, or I don't have enough money, or whatever mind block that they have, right? And so you guys have seen me move around, you have seen us as a family move around a little bit, but you don't even know the half of it. I was born and raised in Oregon. I lived in China for about 3 months. I taught English over there. I was in Japan for a month. I lived in Nevada for a short time. I lived in New York for a short time. I'm thinking, I was in California for a little bit, but I didn't stay there too long. I was in Washington for a little bit, didn't stay there that long. Where else have I lived? I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it. But I've done cross-country tours, not tours, but cross-country, adventures. I've driven cross-country about 3 times or so. And I did it twice by myself. And I moved from Oregon down here to Texas by myself. And then I met my husband here. And I think that all this traveling and everything I've done, I did this stuff on shoestring budgets. And people are like, you can't do that these days. Maybe not. I know that obviously, 10 years ago, things were definitely cheaper. I could get by with, coming down, on not very much gas money, that kind of thing. I had $300 in my pocket at that time. I came down, I stayed with some friends. I got a job immediately. I started saving money, got my own place, all that. So, I've always taken care of myself. I've always known how to take care of myself. And people are always just, again, very confused by this. Why are you moving around so much? Are you just not happy? No, it's not it at all. I think that this world is so big and so different. Everywhere that you go is so different. You may have grown and raised in a certain place, and then you go and explore even just another state, and you're just wow, things are so different, because they are. And I genuinely believe that all of my traveling and all of our explorations and everything that we've done, regardless of the amount of time that we've been there, has truly that was a loud car, has truly made me a better person. It's made my kids better people, more resilient. It's made us closer as a family. It's made all of my journeys before I even had a family, made me a more resilient, stronger, more creative person. And in general, as a prepper, it's made me a much better prepper. It's made me learn how to adapt faster. It's made me learn how to learn skills, that I never would have thought to learn before. Moving to Arizona and then moving to Alaska, and even doing the full-time RVing for that short time before COVID hit. So frustrating that only lasted so long, but nobody knew, how long COVID was going to last or how serious it was going to be. So anyway, all these things, they have made me truly aware of where my gaps are, where my weaknesses are, how I can be a better person and a better prepper, and how we can be a different type of family, how we can live differently, how we can learn to live with less, how we can learn to live without, air conditioning. Don't get me wrong, I love air conditioning, you know what I mean? How we can learn to just live differently. It's not the fact of, I'm not happy. We are. Everywhere we are, we're happy. And I don't think it's the place that makes you happy. It's the people you're with, 100,000%. And you can be prepared no matter where you are, and you may have to learn and adapt a little bit differently. When we were in Arizona, we were going to build just a regular stick house, but then we were like, why would we do that? We need to build something that's more conscious of the environment around us, meaning we needed to either build like an earth shelter or an adobe type of house that could be more energy efficient naturally instead of needing the AC, you know what I mean? It could naturally be cooled and heated by the earth or, you know, by the adobe or whatever. And so, you know, that was something I never thought of before until I moved there. And so that just completely opened my eyes to different ways of living, to different ways of prepping, to a whole bunch of different things. And I think that that's a huge problem a lot of just people have, not just preppers, but people. We don't know how to adapt because we've never learned to live different ways. We've never learned to get out of our comfort zones. And I'm 100% not saying I'm better than anyone, okay? Getting out of your comfort zone is hard. It's very hard. You know, like right before, like we lived here in Texas for a long time, and I was very comfortable. My husband and I was so comfortable. We were in our house with the AC, you know, comfortable jobs, so comfortable. And when we left to go full-time RVing, boy, we were scared. We were like, are we really doing this? Like, for real? We're just gonna like wander around the country, you know, like no, we don't know where we're going, just have fun. And oh man, it was amazing. And then getting the homestead in Arizona, getting the homestead in Alaska, now back down here. And who knows where we're going to be next? And I'm not worried about it. Like when people are so confused about it, they're like, well, did you not like it? No, I loved every single place we've ever been. But maybe we just felt like, you know, we just wanted to explore more. And, you know, I love being off grid, and I loved realizing that I love the disconnect from our modern conveniences. I loved being away from, you know, the modern conveniences and stuff like that. I loved being able to figure stuff out in different ways. And so honestly though, if you don't want to like live other places, I highly recommend traveling. Even if it's just traveling to neighboring states, just travel to different places and see how differently people live and the different cultures and just the different ways that we could potentially prep. You know, how you even prep for a road trip is going to open your mind. It's going to blow you away. You know, like we did a 30-day road trip once, right before we went full-time RVing, and that was like a huge trip, you know, kind of thing of like, man, you know, like if we really had to travel, you know, this far, like, you know, there's no way that like bugging out that long is even possible, because like you would have to settle somewhere, or like if you're going to keep moving and moving and moving, you have to have like a bunch of caches, or like, you know, it's just all this stuff, all these things to consider. So anyway, it's just all this stuff to consider. I think local communities and things are something that I really learned to rely on. You know, find those local communities, find those local farms, find the locals that you know, that have that you could barter and trade with, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, big lessons. And whenever people ask me, you know, why do you move so much, I have to say, why not? You know, again, we're all in this mindset of, well, you just have to stay in one place for your entire life. Nope. Who says? You can sell all your stuff. You can you can turn your, you know, house into a little minivan and go. I've seen people with like 10 kids traveling in a van and, you know, full time. Anybody can do anything they want, period. You can live any life you want to live. And, you know, you can have a remote job. You can do anything. That's how we've done all this stuff. We have remote jobs. So anyway, thank you all so much for listening. I truly, truly believe that traveling and, you know, finding different cultures and just figuring out how people lived in different places, it's a huge eye-opener to where even if you don't want to live that place your whole entire life, it's fascinating to understand. You know, you could definitely go read it in a book, but actually physically going to these places and like seeing it in real life, it's a game changer with your mentality. So on learning how to adapt and overcome. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Talk to you later. Bye.